UFC 294 is coming up so quickly, and guys, today I'm going to be breaking down the co-main event, Khamzat Chimaev versus Kamaru Usman. I cannot wait for this fight, guys. We're going to get into it in just a second. Before we do, though, I do want to say hello, everybody. Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I'm your guy with too many YouTube channels. Let's start with the tail of the tape. All right, now looking at both these guys' records here, is it me or is it just shocking to see two red L's on Kamaru Usman's record? It's just weird to see, man. But of course, Kamaru Usman, it is important to note, it's the first thing I do want to talk about. He is 36 years old now. He is aging, and it's very evident that Kamaru Usman is no longer in his prime. So, Kamaru Usman, before he ran into Leon Edwards, he was looking nothing but dominant. Looked better and better every single time that we saw him. Of course, the only difference really being with the Colby Covington fight, that was a very competitive fight. I know some people thought Colby Covington won the fight. I personally believe Kamaru Usman won that fight. But after that, of course, he ragdolled Leon Edwards, ended up getting knocked out. And then in this fight, just 6 months ago against Leon Edwards again, he looked like a shell of his former self. He did not look like himself. He was slow. His timing was off. He didn't look nearly as intimidating in there. So I don't know. I want to chalk it up to Kamaru Usman getting older and out of his prime now because, again, he is 36. Because I don't mean any disrespect towards Leon Edwards, but I think Kamaru Usman has fought like better guys than Leon Edwards. I believe Gilbert Burns is a harder fight than Leon Edwards. I believe that Colby Covington is a harder fight than Leon Edwards. But Leon Edwards is still great. Don't get me wrong. It's just like Kamaru Usman, I feel like could have went in there and bully him, just kind of like we saw the first time around. You know what I mean? So Kamaru Usman, the last fight, he just didn't look nearly as good. Khamzat Chimaev, though, 12-0. While he hasn't fought the level of competition that Kamaru Usman has, he has been nothing but absolutely perfect so far, with the only asterisk being Gilbert Burns. This is where we saw Khamzat Chimaev look human. He looked vulnerable in this fight, so I'm not overly convinced this dude is going to tear through any division anymore. But then he came back against Kevin Holland. Kevin Holland went for a glove touch. He went for a takedown, ended up getting a Darce choke. It is what it is. So other than that, Khamzat Chimaev finally entering his prime, looking good. He's probably going to be stronger in there. He's a little bit of height advantage and has a 1-inch reach disadvantage. So what happens when these guys actually meet in the middle of the octagon? What's going to happen then? So to be honest with you guys, I have no reason to believe that Khamzat Chimaev won't just immediately try to grapple. So the big question is Kamaru Usman's takedown defense. We never really see Kamaru Usman have takedown defense, except of like he's fighting Colby Covington, right? Which he was oversized and he was like looking just way more powerful than Colby Covington. So it's even like, can he just stuff Colby Covington's takedowns just by pure strength? I don't believe that he's going to have the strength advantage against Khamzat Chimaev here. I have a hard time not seeing Khamzat Chimaev just bullying Kamaru Usman on the ground, especially, of course, the elephant in the room is Kamaru Usman is taking this fight on about 11 days, 10 days notice. Who knows how much he's been training? We know that there's been a lot of talk about Kamaru Usman's knees being gone, okay? How much can he possibly train wrestling, let alone takedown defense for this? This is a big problem. And another thing is, this is at middleweight. We've seen Khamzat Chimaev at middleweight, right? We've seen him at 185. He is huge, he is powerful, he is aggressive. How's Kamaru Usman going to look at middleweight? Is he going to be undersized? I don't know. I really don't know. So, too many questions for me to pick Kamaru Usman, long story short. But even in the striking, man, Khamzat Chimaev, while it was sloppy and there were holes in it like Gilbert Burns, I feel like am I wrong in thinking that it's just Khamzat Chimaev is just going to be too big and too dominant in there? Because I can't even see Kamaru Usman really finishing him. At least like Gilbert Burns. Gilbert Burns can really bring you into that like animal like war. You know what I mean? Gilbert Burns can start swinging at you. We saw it against Khamzat Chimaev, and it was really affecting Khamzat Chimaev. I just don't see that same like. While Kamaru Usman, it's tough because Kamaru Usman carries power. Kamaru Usman's striking is decent. You know what I mean? Like, he has some power behind his hands, but I have such a hard time imagining Kamaru Usman catching Khamzat Chimaev like we've seen him catch Jorge Masvidal. I just don't think Khamzat Chimaev is going to fall. Even if Kamaru Usman hits him, I feel like Khamzat Chimaev will just be too in his face, too aggressive, and really looking for the takedown. I don't think that Khamzat Chimaev is going to get into a war with Kamaru Usman. And we know that Khamzat Chimaev also has power at the middleweight division. It's so tough, man. And the only thing is, like, Khamzat Chimaev is still relatively inexperienced. And Kamaru Usman, we have seen him for so long now. He is arguably the greatest welterweight of all time. But it's just, like, this dude, I think he's a different animal, Khamzat Chimaev. I really do. I don't even see him getting caught. Kamaru Usman, I really don't think he'll win this fight. But then again, I'm thinking, like, to myself, how many upsets have we seen this year? How many crazy upsets have we seen this year? But Kamaru Usman coming off the couch into a new weight class, completely out of his prime, looked horrible in his last fight, and possibly having knee injuries. I can't pick this guy against Khamzat Chimaev. I think Khamzat Chimaev is going to go in there, he's going to take him down, and he's going to beat him to death. I don't even think he's going to get a submission. I think Khamzat Chimaev is going to TKO him on the ground, and Kamaru Usman is going to be put in a position that we have never seen him before. But at the end of the day, everyone's going to be like, oh my god, respect to Kamaru Usman for taking this fight, respect to him for taking up, which is true, like, total respect for saving the card in that sense, but that's how I see that going. Khamzat Chimaev destroying him, the fans being happy with Kamaru Usman because he saved the card. That's how I see this fight going. I see domination from Khamzat Chimaev. I really, really do. I don't think, like, when Khamzat Chimaev goes up to the rankings in middleweight, well, the winner of this gets a title fight against Strickland. Then you could talk about, okay, maybe Strickland can box his head off, assuming he can defend against the takedowns, right? But this dude just seems like a different animal. For Kamaru Usman specifically, I don't see Khamzat Chimaev beating him. But guys, this is where I'll leave it up to you. Let me know what you think down below. Who do you think is going to win this fight? Am I glazing Khamzat Chimaev too much? Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. On the screen right now, if you'd like to continue watching the Clenbat channel, there'll be 2 videos on screen for you to check out. Lots of UFC 294 content coming this week. Let me know what you guys think down below. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you either there or in the next video, guys. Take care.